Good morning. Welcome to The Morning Touch. I'm Darwin Campbell. The Morning Touch is brought to you by the Chaplaincy for the Homeless and the FSBC in Glendale. We welcome you to a new month, December 1st, 2020, known to many as Giving Tuesday. Organizations during Giving Tuesday every year make an appeal to us as human beings. They appeal to the center of our souls, and they ask us to support nonprofits, small businesses, corporations, schools, faith-based organizations all over the world with some kind of donation to help support their efforts. And that's a wonderful thing because for one moment in our history each year, for one moment, we can think about someone other than ourselves. That's what Giving Tuesday is all about. And as we start a new month, what better way to show your compassion and love for others than to give something, somewhere, to someone to let them know that you are compassionate and that you understand their challenges and their needs. You know, I'm reminded of the greatest attitude towards giving from Mark chapter 12, verses 41 through 44. It demonstrates the attitude that we should have about giving. There, the Bible says, sitting across from the temple treasury, he watched how the crowd dropped money into the treasury. Many rich people were putting in large sums. And a poor widow came, and that poor widow dropped in two tiny coins worth very little. And Jesus said to them, summoning his disciples, I assure you, this poor widow has put in more than all those giving to the temple treasury. Let me read that to you. Two small coins. Jesus comments and he says, this woman, this poor widow, she's given all that she has to give. And she has given more than all of the rich who gave to the temple treasury. Why? For they gave out of their surplus, but she is giving out of her poverty and has put everything in that she possesses, all she had to live on. You know, giving should be done cheerfully. Giving should be done in a way that we're not thinking of ourselves. We're thinking of something bigger and larger than ourselves. You know, my grandmother once said, it's better to give than to receive. And in that same lesson, she taught me that the more you give, the more God, gives to you. On Giving Tuesday, this is a time for us to focus on how we can help other people. And let's face it, we are and have been challenged by COVID-19 in many ways. We've had economic challenges where people have lost their jobs, people are losing their homes. We've had social challenges where we have isolated from one another and we have stood back and turned our nose up and yelled and screamed and cursed at one another. It's not been a kind year in a lot of ways, but this is an opportunity for us to redeem ourselves and get back on track. Giving Tuesday opens the door for you and I to do what the widow did, to give all that we have from our heart to serve our fellow man and our community. This is a day to pause and find a need and fill it. We're not telling you where to give your means, but we're asking you to give. There are great needs out there. There is and there are great needs. There are gaps. There are holes to fill. We need to rise up and demonstrate the loving hearts that God put in all of us. This is a day to do that. Giving Day is a day to do that, whether through nonprofit or whether through a church or whether through a food bank or whether through community or even through the chaplaincy for the homeless. The chaplaincy for the homeless, Salvation Army, St. Vincent de Paul, the dining centers. There is a lot going on out there. St. Jude's Hospital. I mean, there are a number of nonprofits and there are a number of churches doing good works out there to help the homeless. This is your opportunity to be like the widow and to give from your heart to help others. And when we do that, you'd be surprised the blessings that will flow. You know, I think about the needs of the chaplaincy for the homeless and how we reach out to homeless people and we try to not only minister to them, but help them find placement. Or think about the Salvation Army that has a shelter. Or think about St. Vincent de Paul that feeds so many hungry people and families across our area. This is a way that you can find how I can make a difference. When I think about the St. Mary's Food Bank, for example, and I see the line upon line upon line, miles and miles of cars of families needing food, that's got to move you. It should move you to want to reach out and give. Give to make a difference in someone's life, someone's home, someone's family. When I think about children with cancer and St. Jude's and what they do in helping families and treating the kids, Shriners, there are a number of people out there with organizations that are trying to help those that are in need. Giving Tuesday allows us the opportunity to reach out. You know, in Galatians chapter 6 and verse 10, the Bible says, as we have the opportunity to do good, let us do good unto all men, especially those of the household of faith. Many need our help today. Children's, family, the homeless, the unemployed, the poor. Many people may not have much at this time. I know many of you don't have millions just lying around or under a mattress in a closet or buried in the backyard. But whatsoever you have, give with the spirit and the attitude of the widow. The poor widow has put in more than all those giving into the temple treasury. All of the rich offerings, she comes up with her 2 little pieces of coin and she drops it in with all of her heart, knowing that God can multiply it. Indeed, we need whatever we have in whatever way we can. Find a need and fill it today. You know, Jesus tells us in Matthew chapter 6, verses 1 through 4, that when we give with a spirit and an attitude that we don't make a lot of noise. We just step up. Giving Tuesday is a time when we are asking you to step up for the chaplaincy for the homeless. Step up for Salvation Army. Step up for St. Mary's Food Bank. Step up for St. Vincent de Paul. Step up for all of those agencies out there that are making a difference in the lives of families and changing the direction for people that are hurting. So I encourage you today, as we wind down, give today. Give generously. In Matthew 6, give quietly and give reverently. You can make a difference. Your little coin can make a difference between homelessness and placement. It can make a difference between having food and not having food. It can make a difference in being benevolent and paying someone's light bill or keeping them in their home. It does make a difference what you do. You can change someone's life with your giving. You may never know them, you may never meet them, but you can make that difference. The widow gave all. It was in her heart. And I appeal to you from my heart to yours. Reach out to a charity or an organization, a nonprofit, a church, reach out here on Giving Tuesday and give something to make a difference in someone else's life. We all need to help one another when we can. And this is an opportunity to do that. Find it in yourself to give something today. Find it within yourself to find a need and fill it. Find it within yourself and in your heart the compassion to make a difference, to help someone make a change, to lift someone up. And God will bless you more than you can ever imagine. The Morning Touch is brought to you by the Chaplaincy for the Homeless and the FSBC in Glendale. We hope, trust, and pray this has been encouraging to you and motivated you to rise up on this Giving Tuesday and give to help make a difference in someone's life. God bless you and keep you, and we'll see you again next time on The Morning Touch.